Live from New York, this is WIUR Radio.
Hello, this is Samantha Rivera, and welcome to my first ever show with WIUR. Frankly, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I will be talking about the Grammys for about an hour, so that should be fun. Um, First things first, album of the year. I actually have no words about the album of the year because it's like I didn't expect it. Well, I kind of expected it, but I didn't really expect it because it's just like the line was like stacked up. Hold on, let me like you had Tyler, you had wait, hold on, let me look it up. Sorry guys. Okay, so the nominees were Swag, Man's Best Friend, Clips, Mayhem, GNX, Leon Thomas is Mud, and Chromacopia, which is a stacked thing. Like I think this Grammys was very stacked. You had a lot of good projects coming out this year, and it was I feel like all the Grammys were well deserved, and just album of the year being DTMF. I'm actually really proud. It was like I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh my gosh, he won, and it's forgive me, this is my first show. I'm like trying to figure out what to say. I have like no idea what I'm going to talk about. But yeah, so when it comes to DTMF, I have a lot of words. Originally, I am not usually a Bad Bunny fan. I don't usually listen to Bad Bunny. I'm not the biggest Bad Bunny person, but this album kind of changed my mind for that because I grew up listening to a lot of the stuff that Bad Bunny put on this album, like salsa, like my gosh, like all that like Latin American stuff. It's very much home for me, and hearing all of that in this album, and also hearing the messages of like wanting to be home and wanting to preserve your culture, it hit hard for me. And also like the production was amazing on this album. Oh my gosh, like the first track when you listen to Nueva York, it's truly like you go into this project and you hear it, and then you kind of are on this wave of him going through cultural identity and other cultural identity, kind of coming back to his roots after kind of being on this very like high presence of media and being involved with the Kardashians and stuff like that. So it's kind of him like taking his roots home. And when it first came out, it came out Three Kings Day. Yeah, it came out Kings Day, which is a very big celebration in Puerto Rico. It's basically a continuation of Christmas, and it like dropped it so people can be like, or like at least his fans in Puerto Rico could just like have something to celebrate, and like also just his little Three Kings Day gift. And seeing that celebrated as a rigorous and selective um kind of like format or like award show as the Grammys, because we know that like a lot of the Grammys tend to be like favorative to, and like the Latin, like of course you had like your Latin American section. He won his award in the Latin American section, but winning album of the year is a just an honor. And like you like if you watch like him like receiving the award, like he genuinely can't believe that he won the award. And it's just oh my god, pure magic. Um and also like all the other artists being so proud of him, and like Harry like hugging him for like 10 seconds straight. Like you could tell that like his heart and soul is in this album. Truly. And I believe like every single person on the list deserved to get that award, but Bad Bunny coming out on top was just like the magical moment, especially with things being very hard right now. It was just a moment, and also like very just in time for his Super Bowl performance, which I am excited for. My mom bought all these little Puerto Rico things. I am sat down and ready to listen to that. Like unbelievable. I'm ready to watch. I'm ready to like dance, especially. And it's like honestly, this album is just near and dear to my heart. And no skips, no skip album. I think every single song on this album is like an absolute masterpiece. And like again, if you're not a Spanish speaker, you can listen to this album. Like I've been seeing so many people complain online, being like, "Oh, like Sabrina didn't win. Like how come like everyone wanted this like all Spanish album to win?" And like if you don't like, it's very tone deaf for you to say like just to be like, "Oh, like the Spanish album should have won," or like the Spanish album shouldn't have won, because like the messaging behind it, like you can easily translate the lyrics. Apple Music does translate the lyrics for you. Genius has translations. And if you go into the messages of the songs, yes, you're gonna have some party songs. It's Bad Bunny. Just don't worry about it. Like there's gonna be a couple fun songs thrown in there because not everything is sad. Everything is a celebration, and that's the point of the album. It's a celebration of culture. And if you like see it as that, and you listen to the songs, and you can also relate it to your own thing, like DTMF, the track title, like the album title track, it's it can hit home for any other way. It, like if you want to see it as a relationship with your home, you can see it as a relationship with your home. You could if you want to see it as a relationship with someone else, you can see it as a relationship with someone else. It is truly a beautiful song, beautiful, beautiful song. And I saw people crying. Non-Spanish speakers were crying to the song. I'm not a Spanish speaker, but I cried to this song because it has like a message that hits home for everyone, and also just the rollout of the album as well, like having the short film of the same name. It highlighted some of the things that are going on in Puerto Rico, especially with the seniors of Puerto Rico, and how they have to adapt to this kind of Western and very modern version of the island that they didn't like grow up to, like they didn't grow up with. Obviously things have to change and stuff like that, but it's also like it's it's about preserving the culture and preserving what was around you and what was important to you. And it like if you want to go home and watch the short film, it's a very cute short film, very like 10 minutes. If you have 10 minutes of your time and you want to explore this album and you want to explore the themes of this album, watch the short film because it is a beautiful, beautiful short film. I love it so much. I sent it to my mom, I sent it to my abuelo, like like literally everyone that I knew when that short film came out, I sent it to because it's so sentimental, and it's so, especially to me, and just in general, if you come from somewhere else, you can relate to that. Or if you are in another country and you notice the things that are around you are changing and you see your culture like slowly fade away, you can also relate to that, but also remember that you have the opportunity to kind of like keep that culture with you and share it on to other people. Onto the some of the complaints that I've been seeing online. I'm not a fan of the complaints that I've been seeing online. Going back to how a lot of the complaints I've been seeing are very tone deaf, and just like they don't hit, especially with Sabrina Carpenter fans. I love Sabrina Carpenter, do not get me wrong. I loved Man's Best Friend. I loved her last album. I love everything about her, but she had her year last year, and I feel like she did a great job performing. She was happy for everyone else, let me say. Of course, it's disappointing when your fave doesn't win, but, obviously, it obviously, that's not how it's gonna go sometimes, but also, there's always next season, and in order to understand how the Academy works when it comes to the Grammy if you're gonna understand how these big major award show goes, it's all of the other award shows, it's all of the other everything that lines up in the season is probably gonna predict what you see during the Grammys, the Oscars, the Tonys, the Emmys, because that's how award season works. It's usually a lot of the people liking the same stuff, and they're all in these little groups, but the Academy are the most prominent and the most experienced, the most and of course, they make a lot of the money within the industry, and they have a lot of control over the industry. Now, when you come into that fact, yeah, Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend was an amazing album. It was great, but they also had to listen to her Short and Sweet last year, and from Short and Sweet to Man's Best Friend, you kind of had that, it was fresh. It was really fresh. I was just so shocked when she announced the album. I was like, "What are you doing? Go to bed." Um, but when it comes to that, yes, your favorite may have not won. Yes, I know the album was really good and she put her heart into it and she couldn't stop writing and all this stuff happened. But when you look at Debí tirar más fotos, it's really something different. It's really kind of a culture shifter, and you saw people of all kinds coming together. You saw a lot of Latin Americans coming together, and I find that really important when you have an album so unifying where people of all all kinds, all genders, all races coming together, it's truly a one of a kind thing. And I believe the same thing with Sinners. And we're gonna talk about maybe the Oscars, but we're gonna focus on the Grammys right now. Um, but when it comes to again, being something that's truly transcendent and being something that's truly one of a kind, it's hard to come by. And of course, the time needed to be right. And Bad Bunny being one of the most let me this year, one of the most streamed artists on Spotify, doing the Super Bowl, and now with this win, it truly shows that how one message can hit so many other people. And I've said this like a billion times on this stream, but like like that's what that album is. That's what that album is, and people are not understanding that when you say this album should have won and completely overhaul the meaning of this other album, it sounds tone deaf and it sounds like you just want your faves to win and you want no matter what, people aren't going to win all the time. People are not going to win all the time, but I feel like this year was really fair when you had best out rap album being GNX. I liked Chromacopia, but GNX deserves it. When you had best new artist being Olivia Dean. Olivia Dean is a phenomenal singer, phenomenal performer, just a great personality, all in all. And there's no other way of saying how like truly unbelievable these wins were. Oh my gosh, Lola Young winning best solar performance. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I didn't expect it. I don't think she expected it. Messi's oh my god, Messi. Messi is so good. I just remembered Lila Young won Best Solo Performance, and it's truly, oh my gosh. And she didn't expect it, and I don't think really anyone expected it. Like, you had I'm gonna go look this up again. Solo. Okay, you had Daisies, you had Manchild, you had Disease, and you had Subway by Chapel Roan. You had Anxiety, and you had Appetite ABT. Um, yeah, like it was a really tough competition this year. Let me say that it was neck and neck with all of these people, and I feel like the best came out on top. The Grammys made a really good choice this year, and there's no other way to put that. And yeah, on to like other parts of the Grammys because I could talk about the Bad Bunny win all day, but we need to get to other parts of the Grammys. Um, let's talk about the performances. Let's talk about the performances. Tyler did a great job as always. Always brought his weird stuff to the Grammy stage, got the shock value out of everyone, and that's what he does best. Addison into Cat's Eye, I say sums up the like internet culture this year. And honestly, I'm so proud of Addison Rae getting like nominated because I'm glad that she took that shift from being the TikTok girl that does her dances and like, everyone thought was cringe and like did the the genius interview about the song that wasn't even her own song. But now as a Grammy nominated artist, hello? She's a Grammy nominated artist. Like it took 4 years, 5, 6, I don't know. It took 5 years, realistically, like 5 years from 2020 when she was dancing with Charlie D'Amelio to now. And I find that unbelievable. And I'm really proud of her. And Cat's Eye also getting nominated this early. Seeing what those girls went through on Dream Academy to like again on the Grammys stage. I was great. I was so glad for them for like the MTV Awards. But for them getting a whole Grammy nomination. They didn't win. I wanted them to win, but it was Defying Gravity. But I also love Wicked. I love music in general. That's what's really hard for me when it comes to the Grammys. It's like I love all these people, but of course one has to win. And it gets really difficult to be like, oh, who won the best thing? Sometimes it's obvious that like some people won just because of the popularity. But there's others where you it kind of like knocks it out of the park and you expect one thing. Like for the pop solo performance, I totally expected Manchild to win it. But then seeing Lola like get the win felt amazing. Um I think Kendrick won Song of the Year again or Record of the Year again. Hello. Oh my gosh. Kendrick is I didn't expect to see Kendrick 2 years in a row. That man disappears like every 5 business days. And he's back again. Also, like, oh my gosh. The Grammys were something this year. The Grammys were truly something oh, and Sinners won 2 Grammys. Sinners won 2 Grammys for best score and I'm pretty sure best compilation soundtrack. And guys, guys, like I'm so proud. I'm like actually so proud of all these people, and I don't know any of them. And I don't know any of them. Like I'm so proud of these people. Don't know any of them whatsoever. But seeing these people work so hard and also putting like these very powerful messages out there and showing the history and showing how impactful like diversity can be is one thing to do, and it's also really hard to do when it comes to media. But these, again, going back to the Bad Money stuff, going back to DTMF, like having an album like that, then having a movie like Sinners dominate, kind of also like dominate the Grammys music wise or like film wise, but also dominate the Oscars with 16 nominations, being the most Oscar nominations ever. Yeah. Actually, let's talk about the Oscars. I'm gonna talk about the Oscars because I'm like running out of ideas to talk about. We're gonna talk about the Oscars, and yeah. Um, we'll be right back though, because I need to collect myself. Hello, we're back at it again. Okay, now time to talk about the Oscars. I know on the channel it says Grammys, but this is my first show and I'm really nervous. And I had kind of a plan coming in here, but now I really don't. This is just gonna be whatever pops into my head whenever, like, when it comes to pop culture. I'll probably have an outline next time so you guys can get a better episode. But time to talk about the Oscars. Um, okay, we're gonna go over the nominations. Actor in a leading role: Timothy Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, and Wagner Moura. Have I seen any of these movies? No. I did not have time to go to any movies this year. All I know is that Sinners is a masterpiece, and yeah. Um I have seen some clips of these people's acting. Like, and I've also seen these people act in movies before. Timothy Chalamet is in every single year, but he's so good. He's so good. No wonder he gets hired because he's good. He's good. He is good. Leonardo DiCaprio. I liked him in Titanic. Yeah. Haven't seen one battle after another. Heard it was good. Ethan Hawke. I didn't even know he was in a movie this year. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. Didn't know he was in a movie this year at all. And yeah. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. Can we talk about Sinners? Okay, Michael B. Jordan plays two people in this role. And I didn't realize that he did until I realized that the two main characters were twins. And I just thought that it was just like one character throughout the entire movie, which confused me so much while watching like just not TikTok compilations, but just seeing clips online. I don't know anything about The Secret Agent. I'm sorry. Um, Actor in a supporting role: Benicio del Toro. One battle after another. Did not see it. What I did see was Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi. It is on this list. Let me tell you about Jacob Elordi. I in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, they gave this man the worst roles imaginable whatsoever. And like then Guillermo del Toro put him in Frankenstein, right? Did not understand that casting choice at all. And then I watched the movie and I was blown away. I knew this guy from The Kissing Booth. I knew this guy in all these dramas. I didn't know he can act like that. And I'm sorry to Jacob Elordi. Like, you're ever gonna listen to this, but I'm sorry to Jacob Elordi because I didn't know you can act like that. I did not know that being a stitched up monster Like, I didn't know Jacob Elordi would make me cry. I never thought that was possible. I didn't know Nick Jacobs could make me cry. And I didn't like Jacob Elordi because of Nick Jacobs, and I didn't like him because of The Kissing Booth. But now I love Jacob Elordi because of Frankenstein, and that might change with Wuthering Heights, but we'll see. I don't know any of these other these people. You can look up Delroy Lindo. You can look up Sean Penn and Stellan Skarsgård. I just want to move on to the other ones before we run out of time because we are 30 minutes in. Um, Actress in a leading role, you had Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. We had Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. We had Renee Receive Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. Emma Stone gets nominated every year. I'm seeing. Good for her because I love Emma Stone. I haven't seen any of these movies either. I haven't even heard like I haven't heard half of these movies. But I'm sure they're great, and I'm sure all these people are outstanding in their roles. Um, I think I think I've heard Begonia on here from the list. I heard of Song Sung Blue. I've heard of If I Had Legs Like I'd Kick You. This was like through little tiny adverts online. For the supporting actress category, we have Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value, Igna Boster Leon S. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Sentimental Value again. We had Amy Madigan, Weapons. We had Rumi Masuko in Sinners, and we had Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another. Again, haven't seen a lot of these. Amy Madigan, I heard was great in Weapons, and let me say, as a horror fan, having one nomination from a horror movie, it's a win. It's a win. I want her to win. She better win. She's been winning all season. Can she win? Because I just need one movie for people to take seriously. And if it's gonna be Weapons, it's gonna be Weapons. Just give horror actors the credit that they deserve because they are phenomenal. Screaming on cue, being that scary. Being scary is hard. Making people laugh is hard. And the horror genre and the comedy genre are two sides of the same coin because again, doing those two things, making people scared, making people laugh, are really complicated. Are really complicated. And I think Amy Madigan can do a good job at both. Again, I haven't seen the movie. I have not seen these movies whatsoever. But I'm sure they're gonna do great. I'm sure they're great. Animated feature. Oh, I know this one. Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Emily, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. Elio, have not seen. Heard a lot of stuff was cut out from it. I don't get making a movie when your original vision is kind of gone, but glad that it got on the list with how many people saw it. K-pop Demon Hunters, I know has been getting a lot of slack for being annoying, being the kids movie that everyone's watching these, but it's genuinely such a good movie. And I, again, as a lover of music, I love K-pop, and I really felt like if you are a K-pop fan, you would love this movie. Like you're gonna love the movie, or if you already seen it, you're probably a K-pop fan, or you're just a tired parent that's been watching it for so many days. But as someone that is not in, or that wouldn't seem to be in that demographic, I love the movie, and it again. I saw people comparing it to Sinners, and kind of. But K-pop Demon Hunters is like such a good movie. All the songs are done so great. I wish we got a longer cut. We need the director's cut where it is 2 hours. I would love to see every single part of it. Please, 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 please. Little Emily, haven't seen the movie. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen Arco. I've been seeing ads for it everywhere. I didn't realize that it was such a star-studded cast whatsoever. It's absolutely insane. Then we have Zootopia 2. Haven't seen it. I like the original Zootopia. That was fun. Fun. But I don't know anything else. Then we have best animated short film. I think I've seen one out of each year that it's nominated, and I can't say the same for this, but they're usually phenomenal after you finish watching it. Casting, the new category, we have Hamnet. Haven't seen it. We have Marty Supreme. Surprised that Marty Supreme got so popular after being released in December. We have One Battle After Another. We have The Secret Agent, and we have Sinners. Sinners is gonna take this one home. Sorry, gonna take this one home. Frankenstein again. Okay, so this is for cinematography. We got Frankenstein again. We have Marty Supreme. We have One Battle After Another. We have Sinners, Train Dreams. Saying that all these can take home. Frankenstein being the only one I've seen on here. Definitely deserves the nomination. I just love that movie so much. It's so fantastical and it's so heartfelt, and I think everyone did such a good job in that movie. I think Oscar Isaac is a great Dr. Frankenstein. I think Jacob Elordi is a great monster, which is why he got nominated. I think Mia Goth is phenomenal. I don't know why she wasn't nominated. Like even though she had like 5 seconds of the movie, that doesn't really matter because some people can also have 5 seconds of one movie and still get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Um, yeah, we got okay. This is for costume designs, and this is the only, not the only, I don't, probably not the only, but one of the few nominations that Avatar: Fire and Ash got. Half of it's CGI, but usually Avatar is really good, and usually they do a great job at making the environments and also just having the Navi be really unique depending on where they are and which tribe they are. We have Frankenstein. I love the costumes in Frankenstein. Just, oh my gosh, especially Elizabeth's. Elizabeth's, hello. These gowns are so intricate and they're so meaningful, and they have truly some of the best like designs I've seen. They're so gorgeous. Like if you look at Elizabeth's gowns, they have these very flowy fabrics and they have these beautiful beadings and lace. And my favorite personal one is the one that you see when you first see Elizabeth is the peacock dress, which very gorgeous blue. And then also the wedding dress is another phenomenal one. And the malachite dress, oh my gosh, just Elizabeth's costumes. I think they saw Elizabeth's costumes and they were like, okay, we're gonna nominate them, and that's it. That's it. And also, I would say Frankenstein, like the kind of jagged, not so professional. Then you compare him to his brother, um, and they're very prim and proper. I think it tells a good story. Hamnet, haven't seen. Marty Supreme, we're gonna skip that one, and then Sinners, obviously, very clean, very culturally significant, very historical accuracy, like very historically accurate. It just takes all the cakes, and I loved. Oh my gosh, Mary's dress is very flowy. Again, it like everything about that movie. Every time Sinners gets nominated for a reason, and that's why. I literally had a whole argument about my dad with this. Because he was like, "Oh, it's like this other movie that I saw back in the day," and I was like, "Shh, shh, shh, shh. Deserves all the nominations." Directing, usually the second last I get presented, and usually what kind of manifest what Best Picture will be. So you have Hamnet, you have Marty Supreme, you have One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners. Ryan Coogler is just a great director in general. I'm so sure he did a great job directing that. And um, again, I haven't seen all the other movies. And that's it. Documentary film feature. I think people forget that this was when Chris Rock got slapped. Yeah, and he kind of took away the attention from Questlove, who really deserved the win. And yeah, I remember seeing that live. Just insane. Uh, Documentary film short. I don't know any of these movies. I don't wanna say anything that I don't know about any of these movies. Film editing, hello. Okay, F1. Um, haven't seen it. Seen some clips. The cinematography is also really good in that movie. I don't know why I didn't get nominated for that. Very Top Gun-esque, Top Gun Maverick-esque kind of editing. But I'm sure that like they did a fantastic job. Marty Supreme, haven't seen it. One bad after another. Haven't seen it. Said the Bangers, haven't seen it. Sinners. I think the Rocky Road to Dublin sequence just perfectly encapsulates the editing, and also I'm sure um other things do. International feature film. Haven't seen it, but The Secret Agent and Sentimental Value seem to cross all these other um categories. So I would just say, like, if you're gonna watch something, I'm gonna watch that. I haven't seen the live action short film ones, makeup and hairstyling, which I think got cut out last year from the show, unless I'm wrong. No, it didn't. It didn't, because they showed all the costumes from Wicked. Oh, by the way, where's the costume nomination for Wicked? Because I see Frankenstein, I see Kyuho, I see I see like everything else. I see. Oh, where's the one for Wicked? Hello, I don't see Wicked on here. Um, yeah, but making Frankenstein better win. Frankenstein better win because Jacob Elordi did not sit in that chair for hours just to not for it to go to anything. Hello, music original score. Ludwig Göransson is the most phenomenal composer in film ever, and like one of the most phenomenal. I love my John Williams. I love the Hans Zimmers. I love the Hans Zimmermans. But guys, Ludwig Göransson's just amazing, and I think he could just take any tone of film and any culture of film and perfectly encapsulate the vibe of the film and also go into very historical accuracies. I also like Frankenstein's score when I was watching it. I don't think it hits as hard as Sinners. Again, haven't seen any of the other movies. Music best song, um, which they're cutting out, by the way. They're cutting out the like majority of these songs for the performances. But to be fair, we only have like two significant ones that a lot of people know of this year. We have Golden and we have I Lied to You, which are respective to K-pop Demon Hunters and respective to Sinners. I Lied to You is my favorite out of the two. Um, because it blends all of like it tells like the history of just America so well and how like African American culture just was like established like all parts of culture because you start with the blues and of course the blues went to jazz. Well, in the song you don't really hear the jazz part, but you hear the blues, you hear rock and roll, and you hear hip hop, which are all established by African American artists. And I think I Lie to You just perfectly encapsulates the vibe of the film and the message of the film. And it's just so good. I love Golden. I love Golden, but I think other songs could have been nominated because I personally like how it's done. But other than that, yeah. Best picture. Best picture. Oh, I have nothing else to talk about now. Okay. We'll just go through each of these. Begonia, haven't seen. F1, surprised. Um, genuinely, I know it probably is like there for the Top Gun feel, but as an F1 fan, I'm surprised that it did get nominated. But I guess it told an interesting story through the lens of Formula One, and it's I don't know. It's a good movie, but I'm surprised that like for a very Top Gun-ish film with kind of not a lot of stuff, just yeah. Frankenstein is on here, and I said it was the film of the year. Kind of forgot that Sinners would also be on this list. But Frankenstein, I really enjoyed. Will it get a film of the year? Will it get best motion picture? Probably not. Most likely not, because Sinners is on here and One Battle After Another is on here. And don't get me wrong, Frankenstein is a beautiful film, and I love Guillermo del Toro so much. And I think all of his movies are so well done, especially with Pinocchio. If you guys haven't seen the Guillermo del Toro version of Pinocchio, what are you doing? Go on Netflix right now and watch that beautiful masterpiece. It won an award for a reason. It's so fantastical, and it will make you sob like a little baby. It will sob like you feel bad for Pinocchio so much. And yeah, Hamnet, haven't seen it. Marty Supreme, surprise, that is just everywhere now. One Battle After Another, Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, most likely gonna get it, depending on how the other things go. And yeah, production design. I'm seeing no Wicked for Good on here, and I am surprised because Wicked for Good Wicked dominated the Oscars last year. At least not well. I don't know nomination wise, but they did a lot. Um, for Frankenstein, yeah, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners. I have no words for production design. I know a lot about it. Sound, the usual. You're gonna have F1, which combines like the car sounds and the music, and also getting the timing of like the speed of the cars. Frankenstein, very complex, very like you because you had the environment, you had the monster being very loud. I think that was good. One Battle After Another. Haven't seen it. Sinners, the music being combined with the dialogue and everything else. I think it also had very good sound production. Visual effects, Fire and Ash, Avatar. That's usually going to be the main one for the Avatar nominations, even though Way of Water got a lot more last year. F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, hello, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. Um, Probably Sinners. I feel like it's gonna get more because it's more practical. Or maybe Avatar. We don't know. Writing, adaptive screenplay. We got going. Yeah, we have Frankenstein. We have Hamnet. We have One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. I'm hoping that Frankenstein wins it. It's probably not gonna win it. A lot of these are kind of like unpredictable. And original screenplay. Okay, so we have Blue Moon. We have It Was Just an Accident. We have Marty Supreme, Sentiments of Value, Sinners. And Marty Supreme is a very interesting nomination on here because it takes kind of that like hopefulness of these sports movies and just turns it around on its head. I haven't seen Marty Supreme, but like from what I've heard in the plot wise, I've heard a lot of people complain because the character, like a protagonist, is not a likable protagonist, and that's not like someone that they want to root for. But you're not supposed to root for him, and that's what makes a good screenplay. I feel like when you write a character that's easily hateable, that's how you know you did a good job writing or you did a good job acting. If you really make people hate you, um, that means you did a good job either writing the character or you did a great job um just acting it out. Blue Moon, haven't seen it. It Was Just an Accident, haven't seen it. Sinners, I'm sure might take it. I'm definitely sure might take it. I think it's gonna be between Mighty Supreme and Sinners. Or I could be wrong and it could all just be another movie and it will be another Anora again where you just don't expect it. Or like you kind of like expect it to be one movie and then it's actually the other. So yeah. I want to talk about how again, a lot of Wicked missing. And I know a lot of the critics didn't like Wicked Part 1 above or didn't like Wicked Part 2 compared to Wicked Part 1. But I personally really liked it, but also I've seen the entire show. Like I have Wicked, it means a lot to me. Um, Also because it's like every theater kid listened to Wicked growing up. It was just like always there. Someone was always doing the loathing. Everyone like, what is this feeling? Everyone was doing Defying Gravity, and it's just a very interesting part. It's just a very interesting like part of theater culture, or at least modern theater culture, because it came out early 2000s. So fairly recent. It's a very fairly recent show. But I feel like with the cloud of Sinners, people don't realize that Sinners is a musical, but it is. You have a thing that plays out the storyline of, well, it helps move the storyline across different periods, and also just it has very musical tendencies, but not a lot of people realize that. But what compared to Wicked, where it's like very forward in your face. It is a musical because it's adapted from a musical, so you're gonna expect it to be a musical. Um, it's very straightforward, but I'm surprised because I personally really liked Wicked for Good, and I really liked it a lot better than um the first Wicked, because I thought it matured the characters a lot easier. You saw the kind of characters more grown up. You saw like little things in this movie, like the maturity of the makeup. Like you went from a younger um Alphaba and a younger Glinda to older, because it's 5 years past time, and obviously they're adults and they're dealing with the government issues of the Aussian world. Um Sounds weird to state that, but like if you watch the movie, you understand. Um but yeah. Oh my gosh, I lost my place. I lost my place. I'm, I'm sorry. Again, first show. I promise I'll be better next time. I'll have more talking points. I just kind of came up with one on the spot. I will have better talking points next time. Okay, we'll just leave it like that. This is annoying. Um, yeah, I'm surprised Wicked didn't get as much nominations. Now, a lot of people were like, "Oh, Wicked got snubbed last year, so this year they have a chance to make up for all the times that Wicked got snubbed." Because of course Wicked, I think, got the costume nomination this year. They didn't get any nominations this year. They didn't even get the visual effects. They didn't have the sound mixing one. Like they didn't have any of the technical stuff, which is usually where you see a lot of these under nominated films kind of thrive if they're not in like the big categories. Like you'll see them in the sound, you'll see them in costumes, you'll see them in makeup, but you didn't see any of Wicked on there. And I feel like that's not fair. I know Wicked got a lot of nominations last year, but that's not the first time that a sequel has gotten nominated. You had Lord of the Rings, you had like the entirety of the Lord of the Rings franchise. You had like the last movie being the most nominated one and basically sweeping the Oscars the year that it was nominated. So I find it very strange that the this time it's not very like this time it's like not as nominated as it was last year, and I feel like it had the same amount of promotion. But also, Vince Peoples, there's a rumor going around that there's someone that doesn't because of the press tour, that it's not nominated, but that's not fair because Wicked for Good is a beautiful movie on itself, especially with the song For Good. That the final scene, it's the scene with the door where they're like where she puts Ariana in the little closet in the room, and they both go like I love you before going into the like like that was improvised. That was such like that wasn't part of the show. That wasn't part of the original show. That wasn't part of the script. That was like that wasn't there. That was all improvised because you could tell that Ari and Cynthia loved this project so much, and it really came out in their acting and just like again the press for this movie, which press shouldn't have anything to do with the movie that you're watching, but probably with a lot of the Wicked fatigue, it probably lost out on a lot of the nominations, but also wanted to give other films a chance, which I understand that, but Wicked still deserve to be put in there. Like it got the song across, like it got the song nomination at least in the Golden Globes. Like you saw some of them in there. You saw like Ari get nominated for Glinda again, and just nothing. Um, so yeah, we're gonna go on a break before the last like 9 minutes of this segment. And we're back. Hello. We're back again. Hello. Just to like close out the show because we now have 8 minutes remaining. We're just gonna like go over how the Academy works again. So when it comes to like the Academy, when it comes to those four main groups, it's um just little time here and there. Little like just you kind of like expect because you have like these people full of Hollywood, like kind of what you consider the elites and what you consider um the most prominent people within the field kind of going out there and voting for all these new people or all these new old people that they keep seeing. So obviously a lot of people know about these movies, but a lot of times it can come down to favoritism. But you have to remember that like this isn't the end all be all. Just because there's an award season doesn't mean that you can like a movie. Just because that this movie went over this movie doesn't make the movie any less bad or any less good than the other one. There are bad movies out there. That's why you watch the Razzies. You watch the Razzies. You laugh for a little bit. The actors laugh for a little bit. But again, if you take these awards seasons to heart, don't because it's not worth your time. Everyone has different tastes. This is all just going based off this certain checklist of these people that expect certain things and they expect things to be very dramatic. If you look at all of these nominated people of the year, they they're very dramatic, very drama heavy roles. Like you don't see these comedy actors getting nominated. You don't see a lot of horror actors getting nominated. You don't see um just these like unique genres getting nominated. You don't see a lot of indie films getting nominated because they're not part of a large thing. And when it does get nominated, and like let's give an example, Honora last year, when like an indie movie like that, it's a very big deal because you have this tiny little, like considerably tiny film of $3 million. It's considered low budget today by some studios. You have this tiny little film and you have a script and you want to get it done so bad. And of course, you take it to this tiny little studio or like a studio that's well established and will distribute your movie for a lower price. You got to make do what you have, and it's special. Like you like seeing a film like that get rewarded, or you would like to see a cultural phenomenon get rewarded. Like when it comes to music, TV shows, etc. And when you see this thing that you're really passionate about, it's very important to remember that everything's okay. You don't need to listen to everyone else, and you could still like what you like. It's not the end all be all of shows and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys like the show that I did. I promise I will become more prepared. I will come in with a sheet. I didn't have an idea. Like I was supposed to do a show last week, but the mountain of snow that was upon New York was absolutely insane. So they were like, no school. And yeah, so I couldn't come in, but I promise I'll be more prepared next time. When I have a better weekend, or just like a non-busy weekend. That's what I mean. But better weekend when I have a non-busy weekend and more time on my hands, and also just like more topics to talk about instead of just going off here and making stuff as we go. Or if you like the spontaneous stuff, we like I don't know if you're watching, you can say whether or not you like the spontaneous stuff as well. Um, so yeah, that is the first show with your host Samantha Rivera. I hope all of you had a fun time listening. We are closing a little early, 3 minutes early. I don't know how to stop this. Um, because again, unorganized topic. Unless I could just yap for the next thing until like I ask someone to turn this off for me. Or I'll have a guest next time if I have any interesting people or we have any interesting topics to talk about. That way it's an easier conversation. And that's it. Thank you.